I want to talk about, you have a new book coming out later this year, and I definitely want to get to that. But you wrote a book that changed my life called Purpose. And this age bracket of young people are always asking me, Anthony, how do I find my purpose? I get Anthony, you want me to get out of debt. You want me to, have a savings account. You want me to build wealth. But before I can do all that, I got to know who I am. I have to know, why am I here? How do I find my purpose? I have an answer, but I'm curious. You're the expert in this area. What would you say to that young person or anybody watching right now? What is purpose, and how do they find their purpose?
For sure. Well, I would tell them, first of all, to be patient. Because one of the things that I'm learning about purpose is that purpose is not necessarily a destination that you hit. You reach it one time and that's it. Purpose is an unfolding. It's an unfolding of things, and it continues to progressively unfold. For me, I would define purpose as, the reason why you're here. I believe that everything is here intentionally, including you and I. And there's certain things that you were born with. There's certain things that you have learned. There's certain things that have moved you in life that you cannot shake. Certain problems that need to be solved, and these particular problems disturb you to no end. And so I believe purpose is that thing. It's being in alignment with that thing that you have been graced from above to do, and to do well. But to a young person, I get it, because, the millennial generation, the young generation, is a very passionate generation. And, and we want to do something, and we don't want to do it tomorrow. We don't want to do it next week. By golly, we want to do it now. And I get it. But you have to be patient with yourself, because you are becoming various levels of you. And so the you that you are today is not going to be entirely the same you that you are in 5 years. And so that which is in front of you, do it, and do it with all your might. But just know that your perspective is going to change, your resources are going to change, your tools are going to change, and be open for there to be some variance in ultimately what you call your purpose.
I'm going to be honest with you on my end. I'm single, and I've been single for a while. I was engaged about 6-7 years ago, got out of the engagement, and someone told me that you'll never really find your purpose until you're married. And that threw me. And I was like, so I have to be married to understand my purpose in life? And I got emotional because it came from a very well-known pastor. We won't say this pastor's name, but I was bothered. I was bothered by that. I'm curious, because I trust your voice in this space. Is that right? I mean, do you have to wait to be married to really find and identify your purpose?
Yeah, I categorically disagree with that, because in that is to say that being married is your purpose.
Ooh.
If you don't find your purpose until you get married, that means that part of your purpose is to be married, and that's not true. Because it also suggests that you are not complete unless you are married. So Purpose Awakening was my first book. My second book was called Wholeness.
Yeah.
And in Wholeness, I have a chapter called Two Halves Don't Make a Whole. And the ideal is the ideal relationship, and if that evolves into a marriage, we can throw the marriage in there, is not two whole people seeking for purpose, coming together and trying to figure out what their purpose is. Two half people, I should say. Two incomplete people trying to figure out. It is two people that have come to a place of self-realization. So succinctly, it doesn't mean that you have all the answers.
Right.
But you do know enough about yourself, watch this, to be fair to the other person, because how can you offer yourself to another person for a lifetime if you don't even know what you're giving them? That's not fair. Like you don't even know what you're selling me. If you're gonna sell me something, come on now. At least what salesperson sells a car and doesn't know what the car is they're selling, or whatever it is? What real estate agent sells a house without being able to say, oh, and this is what you're getting? So I think that I do completely disagree with that notion. Not everyone. Marriage is a wonderful thing, but not everyone's going to be married. And so, no, I completely agree. I think that purpose is an individual thing. And in fact, you can't choose your mate entirely until you have at least the parameters of your purpose.